Welcome, welcome, welcome. As I like to say every week, I'm still Dr. Arnold Nerenberg. Yes, I am. I want to share with you my insights and lessons and inspirations of a lifetime, which at this point transverses over 83 years that I've been on this earth. And I've been a licensed clinical psychologist in the state of California since 1974. I've been in the field over 50 years now. And it's truly my pleasure, my privilege, and my enjoyment to stand in your presence and share these inspirations and experiences with you, with the intention of uplifting you and your loved ones for the rest of your lives. That's truly my intention. The title of today's talk is a little unusual title. I don't think people hear it right when they first hear it. The title is How to Stand Up to Yourself. How to stand up to yourself. And I'm dedicating this to nurse practitioner Bertrand Nojang. Dedicating this to you, Bert. I appreciated our conversation. Very inspiring. One of the laws of honor was I will follow all negative self-talk with positive self-talk. And Bertrand came up with a way of reframing that or rephrasing it that I like even better, for the application of following positive self-talk with negative self-talk about yourself. So there's one thing to have standing up to yourself, how to stand up to yourself, and one other thing is how to stand up to others. So this is not how to stand up for yourself. There's plenty of material on that. What's unique about today is I'll be talking to you about how to stand up to yourself. How to stand up to yourself. Okay, let's look at where a person puts themselves down. They have the low self-esteem, negative self-concept. Might have come, maybe the mother and father, when they were being raised, told me, "Oh, you're stupid, you'll never amount to anything." Could come from that. Could amount to kids making fun of them in elementary school, just harassing them and saying really bad things about them. They're stupid or ugly or whatever. That's scarring. That stays a long time. And people typically, many people will internalize that and start saying it to themselves. "Oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, I'm ugly. I don't look good. Nobody will ever want me. I'm a failure. I'm not where I should be in life. I'm a loser." So, you can't help getting those thoughts. You didn't choose to have them. You didn't choose to have those thoughts of putting yourself down. It's based on your genetics, family upbringing, and societal norms. When you get those thoughts, don't fight it. Don't try to say, when you say, "Oh, I'm a loser," don't say, "No, I'm not a loser, I'm a winner." Don't try to fight with it. Don't fight that negativity. Not at all. Let it be. Let it be. And just balance it with positive self-talk. And that's what I'm talking about, standing up for yourself. Standing up to yourself. Standing up to yourself. So you might say something, only by living in honor can a person be called a success. "Oh, you're such a loser and a failure." Only living with honor defines success. "You're just such a loser, I'm such a loser, I'm such a failure." Only living with honor defines success. What I tell people is, if you have the most gorgeous woman in the world, but she lacks honor, and she's a billionaire, but she lacks honor, well, she's a loser. She's a failure. Only honor makes you a success. You can have the most handsome man in the world, multi-billionaire, beautiful home and cars. If he doesn't have honor, he's a loser. He's a failure. Only honor makes you a success. Only honor is a true definition of success. Then, of course, you want to look good, make money, be healthy, and all the rest. But that's secondary. So you don't fight those thoughts about what a loser you are, what a failure you are, what a screw-up you are, how ugly you are. Whatever you tell yourself, how badly you think you are. Only honor defines success. And only honor defines true beauty. Only honor defines true beauty. You can have somebody who's extremely handsome, extremely gorgeous, but if they don't have honor, that's ugly. If they're dishonorable people, that's ugly. Okay, how perfect your features are, it's still that's an ugly person. Only honor makes you beautiful. Only honor makes you handsome. That's the true beauty. The true attractiveness is truly honor. So you're balancing it. You're not fighting the negativity, you're balancing it. Now, the negative typically is stronger than these honorable thoughts. But by always balancing it, this is what happens. The negative thoughts will come less often, or less intensity, and less duration. That's the good news, even if they don't go away right away. When a person feels like a failure or a loser and they want to stand up to themselves, but once a person says, I'm a loser, I'm a failure, I'm no good, that means that their self-esteem and self-respect is very low. Very low. Bad self-image. And you can't help having those thoughts based, again, on your genetics, family upbringing, societal norms. Don't fight it. Don't try to argue with yourself. No, I respect myself. Yes, I really do. No, don't bother doing that. Just gently balance it with, my self-respect and self-esteem depend only on my honor. My self-respect and self-esteem depend only on my honor. You balance it with that thought. I'm giving you specific thoughts to help you balance your negative self-concepts. Now, standing up to yourself also means not poisoning yourself with wrong foods and wrong thoughts. Standing up to yourself, because who's the worst enemy? I am for me, you are for you. We want to offset and stand up to ourselves in this self-destruction, self-destructive thinking and behaviors. So if you get really angry at somebody and you want to hurt them, maybe you felt disrespected or humiliated or hurt and you want to just strike back, and you're carrying that with you, plotting your revenge, that's damaging you. That'll damage you. You have to stand up to yourself. One of the commandments of honor is that I wish you well. By the way, I call it commandments of honor. I call them principles of honor. In the latest terminology, I'm calling them commands of honor. I wish you well. So you're getting this thought, I just want to slap that person. And you think to yourself, I wish you well. That's standing up to yourself. That's standing up to yourself. You're saying, I don't want to poison myself with all this negativity and resentment. I wish you well. Not because that person deserves your well wishes. No. You deserve to wish that person well. You deserve to wish that person well because you can stand up to yourself. When you're doing self-destructive behaviors, self-destructive thinking, you want to stand up to yourself. I wish you well. With somebody you're very close to, you go, I wish you well. I love you. I just want to slap her. I wish you well. I love you. That's where you want to go with that. That's standing up to yourself. Now, with regards to the future, and you're worried about some future event, and you're getting anxious, stand up to yourself. When you worry about the future, you're very anxious about the future, stand up to yourself. Oh, it's just gonna be a disaster. What if this happens? What if I can't get a job? What if I get fired? What if? You can't help it. You can't help getting that. It's natural. Especially a mother towards her child, a baby. Oh my gosh, I'm not a mother worried. What if I drop the baby? What if there's a baby breathing? I got to go check on me. Very worried. That's normal. But you got to stand up to yourself. You may go check the baby if you want, but you got to balance it with an honorable thought, a positive, constructive thought. One such thought would be, I leave you in God's hands. It's in God's hands. What if this happens to me? Well, it's in God's hands. Or I trust in God. What if that happens? That would be awful if this happens. I trust myself. I've always handled business. I trust myself to handle it. I trust myself. Personally, I trust in God, but also it's good if you don't want to address God or believe. I trust in myself. I've always handled my business. Or whatever happens, I'll handle it. You balance it with that thought. That's good. Whatever happens, I will handle it. Whatever happens, no matter how bad, it's going to make me stronger. I'm grateful for the power I gain from hardship. I am grateful for the power I gain from hardship. It's one of the commands of honor. What's the worst that can happen in that situation I'm so worried about? I lose the job or I fail in some way. Grateful for the power I gain from hardship. It'll just make me stronger. I know it'll make me stronger. You balance it with that. Keep in mind, it doesn't make the worry go right away, but you're balancing it with a constructive, honorable thought. And what happens? In the long run, those worries will come back less often, with less intensity and less duration. In the long run, that's the good news. You may have a project you want to go into and you're afraid of failure. You procrastinate, you drag it out. Then repeat this to yourself. Plan, jump in, mess it up, clean it up. Plan, jump in, mess it up, clean it up. Put some music to it, you have a little jingle. Plan, jump in, mess it up, clean it up. You jump in. You got to stand up to yourself, to your fears, for your insecurities, to your negative viewpoints, to your pessimism. Stand up to yourself. Stand up to yourself. We all know what it means to stand up for yourself when someone else is trying to do something to you. But more importantly than that, stand up to you. Only dishonor can make you a failure. Only dishonor can make you a failure. Well, it's been my pleasure to present to you how to stand up to yourself. And I'm going to open it for your wonderful questions and comments because people are always so interested in hearing what others have to say because it makes people feel part of a community. It makes people feel less alone when they hear your comments. So I want to encourage everybody to say whatever you want to say, whatever thoughts you're having, whatever question you may have. It's open to all you wonderful people now.
Dr. Nerenberg, it's Kathy.
Hey, Kathy, good to see you.
Hi, nice to see you. So to stand up to yourself, would it be the same as if you really don't stand up to yourself, that you make it harder on yourself?
You'll tear yourself down. You'll destroy yourself. You'll damage yourself. You'll rob yourself of your joy. You rob yourself of your confidence. You rob yourself of your self-respect. You rob yourself of your nobility. You're a noble being. You're going to rob yourself of all of that. Don't let yourself get away with it. Don't let all that negative self-talk. And you didn't invent that negative self-talk. Oh, no. You didn't create that negative self-talk. You've been told it. Life is giving you that message. Influential people have given you that message. You got to stand up to yourself. But now it's your message. You've internalized it. It's not your message. You got to stand up to yourself.
Because I have so many people that are telling me, Kathy, why are you so hard on yourself?
You can't help it.
Give yourself a break.
Kathy, you can't help it. You can't help that. But you got to stand up to yourself. And then I gave you the thoughts to use. Right. You got to balance it with that. You've got to balance it. And again, I want to say that the negative self-talk will be more powerful in the short term. But in the long term, by balancing it every time, those negative thoughts will come by with less intensity, less duration, and less often.
Okay, thank you.
But don't beat yourself up about beating yourself up. Don't beat yourself up about beating yourself up.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes, it does.
Tell me your true thoughts about what I'm saying to you, Kathy.
Sorry, I have a bronchial infection.
Yeah, well, I hope you get better. Tell me your thoughts about what I'm saying to you.
Well, if I think anything, let's say, if I'm very hard on myself, I just have to fight the negativity.
No. I'm glad you said that. You don't want to fight the negativity. No, you don't fight it.
Fight the negativity.
You balance it.
Let it be.
Yeah, balance it. A lot of people want to fight this stuff. You're going to lose that fight.
You don't fight it.
You won't win the fight. You got to balance it. Gently balance it. Gently.
Okay.
I'm really glad we followed up with this because people do think of fighting it.
Okay.
This is not a fighting method. It's a balancing. A gentle balancing. Gentle.
Okay.
Wow.
Thank you.
Good comments. Yeah, Hugh.
Is having a certain amount of healthy pride a way of standing up to yourself?
Well, Hugh saying having a certain amount of healthy pride standing up to yourself. There's only one way that pride is good for you. If you're proud that you're honorable, if you're proud that you're a good person, in whatever form that is, a loving person, a reliable person, being proud of your good attributes, that strengthens you against all negativity. But there are other forms of pride that involve arrogance and ego. That's a veil that cuts you off from your true self. But pride in your goodness and in your virtue and in your nobility, that's a good thing and strengthens you against all negativity. Good point. I want to open up.
Dr. Nerenberg?
Yes.
It's Brian. How are you
Brian,
tonight?
It's a pleasure to see you, Brian.
It's good to be seen. I got something really interesting. I've never thought of the commandment, the I wish you well, the commandment of honor, is a proactive tool against the depression. The self-esteem issues and stuff that's part of depression and anxiety can easily become resentment. Anxiety turns into anger and
so does depression, yes.
That slow burn resentment. But when you go into a proactive mode of wishing somebody, maybe somebody who's hurt you in the past, wishing them well, it's taking control of a situation that you had no control over.
Correct.
And that's empowerment.
Very,
correct?
very empowering. And when you wish them well, it doesn't mean you hope they win the lottery. It might mean that, but it also could mean you hope they find honor in their lives.
Yeah.
Because whatever they did to hurt you was not honorable, so you're hoping they find honor in their lives. That's a wishing them well.
I've never seen it that way until tonight. So that's very interesting. I've been dealing with these commandments of honor and saying them daily and everything, but this one just changed for me just now.
Excellent. You want to do it 3 times a day, and it's important to commit to do it all your life. All your life. That you'll see the benefits keeps coming, and your understandings and the applications will keep expanding. And the repetition is preparation for application. And that'll help you achieve an internalization and a stabilization. Another little jingle type of thing.
Yeah. It's a good tool.
It's a perfect tool for living a constructive and honorable life. A perfect tool.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Doctor.
Well, thank you, Brian. It's a wonderful point you're making.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not only a way to, as you say, it's not only a way to help mitigate our own negativity, but it's a way of acting proactively for preventing things from getting worse inside of ourselves. I love it. I love the point. That's brilliant.
It's a long-term battle, Doctor, but
as long as
I'm not ready to give up yet.
As long as we're on this earth, we're going to have these battles. But you're going to achieve more resiliency. You're going to achieve more wisdom. In fact, we're doing testing on all our people. And within 3 months, we're seeing people say from the program, seeing Bird or I once a month, coming to the Zoom classes, watching these 4 videos a week, texting us. Probably about 98% of the people saying they've already increased in wisdom. So from following the honor teachings, you will grow in wisdom, resiliency, love, and even people saying they're happier with it. So you're on a good path. This is an excellent path for growth and protection against negative emotional states. Yes, it is. Well, thank you for your input, Brian. That was genius what you said. Good.
Thank you.
Who else would like to make a comment or ask a question?
Doctor.
Yes, who's speaking?
This is Christy.
Christy, yes, Christy.
Hey, I just love this topic that you're teaching on today. And I just wanted to say I was feeling that way just recently. I know I shared with you, I was struggling with a closet nicotine addiction. My husband and I were buying vapes when we would have drinks with family or friends once in a while, and it would stop for him after we would have fun that day, but it didn't stop for me. And I was getting so frustrated with myself because I was like, why don't I stand up for myself? Why don't I love myself enough to stop putting this shit in my body?
Yep.
Yeah, sorry, I don't mean to get emotional, but
that's all right. You're emotional. That's good.
It's why wasn't I needed to stand up for myself and love myself and the way I do my kids and my family. And anyways, it's been like 3 weeks and I don't think about it anymore. And I'm so relieved and thankful that I'm not putting that bullshit in my body anymore because I don't need that.
Christy, most people have some self-destructive pattern. It might be drinking, it might be drugs, it might be smoking, it might be eating too many sugary products like Twinkies or drinking sodas. A lot of people have a habit that they wish they could stop, and they put themselves down for not because they know they're killing themselves. And so what you shared, and with the emotion you shared it with, which is beautiful, it's going to inspire people. Believe me, I know my people that are listening now, they're very inspired by what you shared. And you just follow those thoughts when you're going through that with standing up to yourself with positive self-talk. And I gave you really the best self-talks there are.
Yeah, I think the program's helped me a lot to, just saying the honor and everything on a regular basis. I tell myself, why am I doing this to myself? Sneaking around everybody, sneaking around my kids.
Well, like I said, that's universal. People get trapped in thought patterns, behavioral patterns that they don't want to be in. And no sense in beating yourself up about it. And
I feel so much better.
Of course, we all want to stop those patterns. But until we stop, there's no sense in beating ourselves up. I'll hope to stop soon. God willing, I'll stop soon, and I will stop soon. Even if you're not ready to stop. If you're anybody who's caught up in one of these self-destructive patterns, you'll be telling yourself, God willing, I'll stop soon, or I intend to stop soon, or I will stop soon. As soon as I'm ready, it's going to happen. So
yeah, it was a back and forth for a while.
Yeah, but the key I want to say to everybody: don't beat yourself up about these negative patterns of thought and behaviors. Just know you're going to stop. Know that you're going to go to a more constructive path. Honor demands it, and you'll do it. That's key.
Yeah, thank you, Doctor.
Well, thank you, Christy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I want to open it up to anybody else who would like to make a comment or ask a question.
Reginald.
Reginald! Yes, Reginald.
Well, honor is one of my core values. And standing up to yourself could be something as simple as just doing the right thing when nobody's looking. And honorable is a two-edged sword because we can blow our honor over the littlest things. But at the end of the day, I don't think there's nobody that's ever going to be perfectly honorable all the time. But the whole time is you got to be able to check yourself and understand it, because at the end of the day, you're going to have to live with yourself. So I really, honor is like really strong with me. And I know I live by that, and I try to be the best that I can, honorable. But inadvertently, I'm probably going to fail here and there. But as long as I realize the fact that how the honorable is such a super goal to achieve, I'll always strive to be as the best honorable as I can.
Reginald, thank you for sharing that. Beautiful. Here's the thing. The key is when we fall off the path of honor, as soon as we see it, we have to face that's what we did, repent, stand up, and get back on the path. And that's what you're saying you do. Whenever you slip, occasionally I know I have a beautiful marriage. I live very, very honorably. Once in a while I'll slip and maybe say something to my wife in a tone that I don't like. As soon as I see I'm doing it, I will apologize. I'll say, I slipped there. I apologize for my part of that. But I don't slip often, but I do. And step right up. Apologize, step up, repent, and be more determined than ever to not do that again. Yep, I'm on board with you 100%. Yeah, Hugh. Thanks, Reginald.
Welcome, Doctor.
Yes, Hugh.
The lady that has the nicotine addiction. Nicotine is a very, very powerful addiction, and it's very hard to withdraw. So let her be a little bit easier on herself because she's walking through hell on the road to recovery. Yeah, well, nicotine addiction, he was saying, it could be difficult. But the good news is that Christy left that habit. She's been off of that for a while now. So congratulations again on that, Christy, because that can be, of course, I don't know whether the vapes have nicotine? Yes.
Oh, okay. Well,
Thank you, Doctor. I should also know I smoked for 13 years and I quit 13 years ago. So with the fact that I picked up a vape out of thinking I could do that and be okay. I haven't smoked a cigarette since 2010, but I picked up vaping on and off 2 years ago, and I haven't been able to. Well,
you put it down again for now, and it's a day-by-day process. You slipped, and you step back up.
Yeah, I just don't want you. I feel like I'm totally over it. If I have a little craving, I know it's going to pass. It's been 3 weeks, and I know I always look up all the information on it with anybody that's struggling with any kind of vice. What always helps me is just looking up the information about that thing and what it does to your body and how long it takes to leave your body and how long it takes for your body to get over it. And I know that I'm past that 3-day hump of the nicotine leaving my body, and I'm past the 3-week hump of the habit.
Well, congratulations, as we say in Yiddish, Mazel Tov, as they say in Farsi, Mubarak.
Thank you.
Yeah, good going.
Thank you. But I did have to fight myself, so that was fight for myself.
You had to stand up to yourself.
Yes, that's it. Stand up for myself.
Yeah, stand up to yourself. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Christy.
Thank you.
These are all wonderful inputs. Very helpful to everybody who's hearing it, inspirational to everyone who's hearing it, and to everybody who will hear it over the years on this video. Who else would like to make a comment or ask a question? Well, it's been my pleasure. Yes. Oh, there you are, my dear goddaughter, Tracy, the newlywed. What a beautiful couple. Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much. Well, I like this topic, what is it about? Not take it easy on yourself. I guess over the past months, I have been feeling very like a sloth. Like I know I could do more, but just been very slothy. Just to the point of so much overwhelm that it's almost like nothing gets done. And I've just been praying on it because I knew I had my wedding this past weekend, and I knew that I'm going to be a wife soon. I can't be feeling this way. I cannot be, I have to be an honorable wife. I have to get a good kickstart into who I want to be, into the motivation I want to have with starting a family and everything. And sure enough, after praying and trying and failing and praying and trying and failing, I had this incredible burst of energy where I was just bam, 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 one thing right after the other. And before, I was kind of like giving myself that grace, but I felt like I was not being hard enough on myself. I was giving myself too much grace and allowing myself to, excuse myself, and not keeping myself accountable for what I know I can accomplish and what I know that I can do, and just trying to be the most honorable person to myself, to be better because I know that I can. And I just have so much incredible energy now leading up to right before my wedding. Just know I got to get stuff done because no one's going to get it done.
Well, that wedding was beautifully planned, executed. It was a joy for everybody there. Let me say this. Some people feel they can get things done by being hard on themselves, really kicking themselves. Some people just beat themselves up to make things get done. That's a painful way to do it. And it's a destructive way, but it does work. You can beat somebody up. You can beat yourself up into motivating yourself. There are other ways. It may take you a while. The other one would be the thought like, I can do it. I can and I will. And with God's help, it's all going to get done. And just balance it and leave it at that. You don't have to keep on with it. I can do this. I will do it. With God's help, it's going to get done pretty quickly. And leave it. That will work. You don't have to go one more step with it. Not one more. Just that alone. That alone. So you don't need the old method of beating yourself into it. Although people do beat themselves into these things, and that's part of their method of getting things done. And it's just not necessary. Some people really whip up at their anxiety and have to get themselves feeling really whacked out to get the thing done. You don't have to do it. I can do this. I will do it. God's help, it's going to get done in a very reasonable way. And that thought, and you trust the thought. You got to trust that thought, and you'll see that that's a way of doing it. And you can bypass that whole self-flagellation to get it done. You got to stand up to yourself in that way. So I'm giving you the tools. I'm giving everybody the tools to achieve these things. But I really, really appreciate your wonderful feedback. And, one thing people use the term sloth in such a negative way. I'm such a sloth. I feel slothful. They're the cutest animal. The sloths are just adorable. So if you feel like a sloth, you say, "Oh, I'm so adorable. I'm just an adorable sloth." It's better than beating yourself up and feel you're putting yourself down with, "I'm such an adorable sloth." Well, thank you for that input, Tracy. Thank you very much. Well, it's been my pleasure, my privilege to address you, to bring you these inspirations with the intention that you apply this for all your lives. and to pass this on to your loved ones so that they will continue, they'll have a better life with it. It's my pleasure to present to you how to stand up to yourself.
The sea of destiny is in your deepest struggle. God's will and mine be one, and I wish you well. You are co-creator, respectfully real. There's a way in the valley that turns weakness to steel. We're known through all eternity, from strife we gain power, clothed in grace and love, disciples of honor. All the days of our lives refuse the way of shame. We wish nobody harm, have no one to blame. Your high calling will be done, and pure eyes now glow. In darkness crave the good, like waters from the desert flow. I pledge my love all the days of my life. I pledge my soul to all that is good. I pledge my heart to my brothers and sisters, who I join in the light, leave a legacy of honor. We're known through all eternity, from strife we gain power, clothed in grace and love, disciples of honor. All the days of our lives refuse the way of shame. We wish nobody harm, have no one to blame. Your high calling will be done, and pure eyes now glow. In darkness crave the good, like waters from the desert flow.